Okay, a call to order the regular meeting of Tuesday, May 28th, 2024. To order, I ask all who have not signed in, please do so. Please turn off all cell phones and other electronic devices, and please conduct any private conversations in the hallway or outside. Emergency exits can be found to your right and to your left. This meeting is also live streamed via YouTube with text commenting available. Please join in the salute. Please join us in a salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, a few announcements. For the month of June, we have a pretty active month for birthdays for town employees. We have 5 employees celebrating birthdays, starting with the 5th of June, Adam Rysek, Aaron Brandt on the 6th, Wesley Dow on the 7th, our town clerk on the 8th, Dave Condon on the 16th. It's also Father's Day, so happy Father's Day in advance, sir. As well. And in addition, we have in June, the town board meetings will be held on Monday, June 10th and the 24th. The meeting on the 10th is a pay bills meeting only. This is something we do in June, July, and August. The second meeting, again, as mentioned, will be on June 24th. I will be necessarily absent at the meeting on the 24th. Early voting in the main meeting room from Saturday, June 15th through Sunday, June 23rd. There's actually no primary race in Victor on primary day, the June 25th.
No voting early. Victor
Okay.
Just a reminder to Victor residents, for the 9 days of early voting, there is no voting for Victor residents because we don't have any elections, but it's going to be a little confusing probably for people, and then no primary at all in Victor on June 25th. So,
Thank you, Karen.
Jack, the Bills only meeting on the 10th will be at 8 a.m.? Yes? Okay.
Town facilities be closed on June 19th for Juneteenth or Freedom Day. And then this month, or next month, the Sid Partington Concert Series, they start on June 20th. They run through August the 1st at Victor Municipal Park from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. In addition, Taco Tuesday start in June, and they have one in June, July, and August. So that's all I have. At this time, public hearing, we'll ask our town clerk to read the public hearing notice.
notice of public hearing, the Town of Victor LSI Baker Building Utilities, 805 Wagnum Road, Sanitary Sewer District Extension Project Summary and Notice. Please be advised that the following is a summary of the Route 251 Acquisition LLC LSI Solutions request for an extension of the Town of Victor Consolidated Sewer District to include a .54 acre parcel at 805 Wagham Road, which is accepted by the Victor Town Board, which was accepted on May 13th. This parcel is adjacent to the existing sanitary sewer district on the north and east, but it is not in the district because it is currently using an on-site septic system. A sanitary pump station and force main is proposed to replace the existing on-site sewage disposal system. The force main will connect to the Town of Victor sanitary manhole on the west side of Wagnum Road. Work on the interior of the building is underway, and construction of the sanitary pump station is planned for late spring of 2024. The proposed sanitary sewer district extension will not have any financial impact on the district, as the applicant will bear all costs, including installation of the sanitary pump station, force main, and associated restoration. The connection fee and future sewer district taxes will be paid by the owner. This public hearing was published and posted in the Daily Messenger newspaper on May 17th, and a copy also posted on the signboard of the Town Hall, Victor Village Hall, and our website.
Thank you, Karen. And board members, Keith Maynard has provided correspondence to us for a few weeks now, leading right up to this meeting. Keith is here if you have any questions as well. There's no formal presentation on this, just is fairly clean as far as the extension, a very small extension. So at this time, I'll ask if there's any members of the public that care to speak for or against the inclusion of this property address to be part of the sewer district, town sewer district.
Randy Shea, 50 West Main Street, Victor, New York. Really, it's mostly questions on a macro level in the town of Victor. I've heard that some places we are at capacity in terms of our how our sewer pipes are run and how much we can handle. So I was wondering if maybe you could maybe explain a little bit about how we're doing in terms of the flow of all the different sewer pipes. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, I think it's a small thing and it's fine. I'm just wondering about that.
Yeah, we, Labella undertook a comprehensive master plan study several years ago that anticipated certain properties, additional properties contributing to the system as we design improvements to the system. So this is one parcel that I have 100% confidence that our system can handle and convey the sewer.
Yes, my question is more macro. I've heard recently that the town and the village have been talking about challenges that they have in terms of running the sewage. And being that you're from Labella, I would think you would be able to answer that question as to how are we doing on a macro level, town as a whole, in terms of our sewers.
I think you're confusing two sewer systems.
Yeah.
There's the Victor Farmington Consolidated Sewer District, which is going to be serving this connection, and then there's the Village Wastewater Treatment Plant. And it's
Okay.
the Village of Victor's position that they have no more capacity at their plant, which is not something that the town has accepted as factual.
Okay, well then, yes, then that
But
would.
that has nothing to do with this application, so I would just ask that you
Yes,
keep your
I'm glad.
comments to this
I do very much
specific
appreciate that
resolution.
you are an attorney and you clarified that for me. I am sorry that I got it confused. I'm probably not the first person that gets confused about things, but I very much appreciate your correction. Thank you.
Any other members of the public care to speak for or against this expansion of this address into the sewer district? Okay. Hearing no further public comment, entertain a motion to close this public hearing.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
And moving to meeting minutes for consideration. This would be the Monday, May 13th Town Board meeting.
I will abstain as I was not present.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
We have a first, we have a second, one abstention. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And payment of bills. When the town clerk is ready, we'll ask her to introduce abstract manifest number 10.
Manifest number 10 in the amount of $146,118.82 has been reviewed by the Victor Town Board with the following accounts charged: General Townwide, General Outside Village, Parkland Trust Fund, and Highway Townwide.
Thank you, Karen. And up on the screen, you'll see our first payment is for our June rent for the Parks and Rec facility. Payment number 2 is materials for numerous road projects. 3 is Hometown Energy unleaded fuel purchased in the month of April. Five Star Bank Visa purchases, payment to J.C. Smith for radar signs, utilization of ARPA funds for that. Next is Lane Enterprises, culvert materials, payment to Mengel Metzger Bar for final audit charges. These are for the courts, the town clerk's office, and the town audits. And the final item is NOCO Energy diesel fuel purchased in the month of April. Total of the above-mentioned expenditures is $101,251.32. Total town expenditures minus the previous mentioned expenditures equals $44,867.50. Board members, do you have any questions on manifest number 10? Hearing none, and entertain a motion to approve for payments hereof.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we have no request for privilege of the floor this evening. Moving to public comments and concerns, an opportunity for members of the public to offer comments to the town board.
Hi there. My name is Michelle Har. I live at 6703 Song Hill Lane. I live off County Road 9. I've been there since 2003, I believe. So since I moved in there, not far after, Jack was running for office, that's when it was, and you came to my house and I expressed my concerns of living there. You were running for office and I said that at the time I had small children and I couldn't leave my Song Hill Lane because of the 55 mile an hour and there's no sidewalks. So one of the conversations that we were running for office that you would fight for us to get some sidewalks or some mobility of that lane. My children have come and grown. So that now is changed. Next, we saw you. I've never come here, I've never spoken to you guys. I've only discussed this with Jack and people running for offices. But then I was like, I just want you to slow it down. Forget the sidewalk, but just slow it down. I can't even go out there and walk. And so that didn't happen. And we were hearing accidents happening on the corner all the time, in the field, in the marsh, and in the front of our road. Can't get in, can't get out. This has been going on for 2003. And so now I'm here. My husband reached out, sent some emails in back in, I don't know, 2017, 2015, 2020. I mean, this has been going on for a while, right? So we're always told that it's someone else's issue. It's not the town, it's the county. It's not the county, it's the Department of Motor Vehicles. Okay, so I have here, I could sit here and be like, okay, in 2015 you did this, in 2017 you did this, in 2020 you did this. And just recently you put something on Facebook in 2023 where you, again, a whole group of people, I didn't even see it till today, are again commenting about the accidents. We put in some flashing lights. Okay, the accidents have downsized a little bit, but the living conditions are worse. So I went out and tried to go over to Gulfview Rise just to go for a walk, or I like to, I live down in South Carolina where as well, and I can walk and bike and e-bike anywhere. I can't leave and go even one street over to Gulfview Rise. It's 55 miles an hour and there's no lip. And so if I wanted to come down in the town, which I love to do, I would love to e-bike into the town or walk to the town, and roam around, but I can't. I can't even get over one street. I'm walking on the side. When you're paving it, you're not even paving an extra little bit. And so the cars going by me at 55 miles an hour in the rush hour of 9 a.m. and 2, 3, 4, and 5, it's so much, so fast. I feel like I can't make it over to one street without being blown off the road. And so, somebody did a study in 2020. I disagree with this. He hasn't lived there. He doesn't know. It has not changed since 2003. And now a police officer just flipped over last October or something. And what I can tell you is when you're coming from Lollipop Farm and you're coming out of Parrington, you hit Victor. It's drastic. We go from Parrington, who has this much room, plus one of those little water things that go like this that you have in the cul-de-sacs. On both sides, you can bike, you can walk, you could have a nice stroller. You hit Victor, welcome to Victor, there's no room to walk. And I see there's been an initiative to put up signs that say bike in your lane. There's no lane. I don't, that's not on our road, but, so I went through today, and I drove all around my area. I wanted to make sure I wasn't wrong, but we're 3 miles. I live in the 1.5. So when you leave the 25, you get a 1.5 miles, and when you have to go into that little 2-lane bridge where there's no room for anybody, walk, it's dangerous even at 50. But let's say you get through that. Now you're about to hit 55. And if you don't go there, you're gonna get run down. I have been beeped at, run over, like they're running me off the road because I don't wanna go to 60. Because when you have 55, we all know they go 65. So if I don't speed up, I have been run off the road just as of yesterday. And it's 3 miles. We're just asking for 3 miles. It's 25 on the end, it's 40 on the other end, and every chute off of it is cul-de-sacs that are 30, and it is, since I came here in 2003, it's quadrupled of the amount of houses in the cul-de-sacs. Every single one of them are 30, and any of the roads off of it are 40, maximum 45, except for one, which I really think you should consider that, which is Aldridge. They put all those houses right on that road. I mean, it's like boom, 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 boom. Like, they shouldn't be doing 50 either. And it's so twisty and windy, and you can't see anybody. I was driving on my 55 3-mile-an-hour stretch, and we had cars coming both ways with bikers on both sides, and I was literally saying, Lord, which one am I choosing? Am I going to get in an accident with this guy, or am I going to kill the guy on the right? Which one am I going to do? I don't want to do none. But when I'm slamming on my brakes, the big old pickup truck behind me is about ready to run me down. And I'm going, my son's like, holy cow, this is me, coming out of 25, going past, what is that road that goes up to the school, going past there, going to the underpass. I said, look at this. In the underpass, I slowed down a little bit. I don't know if somebody's in there. I don't want to hurt anyone. So I go to 50. He's on my butt. He's literally shoving me under the thing. And then when we come back out, now we have Aldridge. He doesn't care there's intersections. He flies around us. We get through Gillis. He's slamming on his brakes, going off the road because someone's turning in. Songhill Winery now is there. We have a business too. So he's slamming on his brakes. It's a double yellow. He can't pass it. It is beyond. I don't care what Paul Spitzer said in 2020. It's not true. This is 55, 3 miles of death zone. It's hell. It's literally hell on earth. And we've put on lights, and you've done some things that have helped it, but I know there must be a reason. I know there must be some secret, super secret, hidden reason why we can't just make it 45. They're still gonna go 55. And I don't know why when you pave the road, you couldn't do 2 more feet. But I've said to you, Jack, I'm going to lose a child over this. I've told you that in parties. I'm going to lose a child. I have 2 driving. Children have been lost in that intersection. Mothers have been lost in that intersection. So many people have died in that intersection. I've heard mercy fly. I just want to ride a bike into town. I already lost the part where I could move my children into town. I lost that in my life. I'm not losing my children to that road. I've had too many people in our ponds and our this and our that. It's a simple thing. Don't keep throwing tests at it. Don't keep talking about it. Don't shove me on the sheriff and then shove me over there. Stop doing that. I want to have a good life in Victor. But all this corporate stuff is getting in our way. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all the money making and whether like you told somebody on Facebook, Jack, that the county and highway, this is just a couple years ago, was working on signage. Well, they already did that a few years ago. You told somebody that they were, I can't read my own writing. They were analyzing costs for federal funds. These are just, I'm sure the state with their whole initiatives of green living paid for those signs with the biking, which has no lane, but they're everywhere. I just want 55 to say 45 so that when I come out, I told you this at a party, if I come out, I'm playing Frogger with my life to get over 2 cul-de-sacs down to go to my girlfriend's house. They're running us off the road. It's double yellows, they don't care. So I ask that you take this into consideration. You talk about amazing little town and where we all should be walking around and being part of this village. But nobody's stepping up to do just simple little things that may be out of the funding of the state or whoever. But I want to get downtown. I want to be able to minimum leave my driveway and not feel like I'm going to be run off the road. That's all I have to say. There's some other stuff I want to talk about because I've been out of town. So I'll come back another time, but I really, I want to know who's going to make this decision. I'm going to go door to door because I've waited for 21 years for something to be done. I've come and gone from South Carolina and North Carolina back to here. I want something done. I want to be able to live here and not be miserable just trying to leave my road, especially now that we have Song Hill Winery coming out of our road as well. So I would like someone to take consideration of this. I would like a real honest conversation with it, and I don't want to hear fake reports. I want you to know what it's like. Go drive it at 2 during school, 4, 5. Those are the hot times when there's just so many cars and everybody. Today it was pouring and they were still running each other off the road when I was trying to get all my speed limits. It was very dangerous. So I want real consideration this time. I'm not coming back and doing this another 5 years. I've never done it before, but I'm not having this conversation no more. We got to get this done. This is a simple thing. It's 3 miles. Everything else is 45, 40, 30, just 3 miles. All right? Okay, and I'm going to follow up with somebody. Karen, I'll follow up with you because I want to know who's going to take responsibility of this. I'm not going to another fundraiser and then have somebody shove me over to here and there and there and there and nobody wants to answer this question. Okay?
Okay.
Great. All right. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Any other members of the public care to address the town board?
Randy Shea, 50 West Main Street, Victor, New York. First and foremost, I want to highly compliment the Highway Department and the village also, the DPW, for changing out those flag poles and making the American flag on the higher pole and on the right side. And then also the clerk's office. It was kind of funny because I asked Brittany and Kim if they wanted me to videotape, because I tend to do that sometimes about things I like what's going on, and they said we'd rather you not. So anyway, so for as far as the clerks and the clerk's office role and getting the flags and them putting them up, just wanted to say thank you very much, because I think for some people it means a lot, and some people maybe not much, but it was done before Memorial Day, and that meant a lot to me and a lot of local veterans. So I don't know how much time I have left, but I was going to talk about something else, but I do know that when I moved here in '96, this Gillis Road problem was being talked about. A friend of mine, Marianne, I don't remember her last name, but she lost a child at that intersection. And, you know, the road comes down kind of fast. You can't brake very easily if you're not familiar with it. It can happen, especially to new drivers. But what can you do about the grade? Probably nothing. But the fact that you're coming into a 55-mile-an-hour zone, you know, when you're up and you're kind of going over a hill, if you're going a little too fast, your brakes don't really take hold until you start to come down. And especially if they're going faster than they should. I don't know what happened with the police officer, but regardless, it's a dangerous intersection coming from that way, and 55 miles an hour. I realize it's a Department of Transportation call, but you know, it is something worth fighting for. That is one problem area that has been here for a long time, and lowering the speed limit to 45. I mean, what she had to say there, maybe she didn't have all of her facts exactly right. In terms of what needs to happen, but what she had was a cry from the community that something needs to happen. And, you know, I do think, you know, it costs more money to put sidewalks everywhere. So, you know, you want to keep your budget down, so you don't want to put sidewalks everywhere. Well, I think the town has made a mistake in not asking for more infrastructure funding. Every time a developer got approved, even if it wasn't in their tiny little scope, which I don't understand why it's such a small scope every time the planning board decides on something, but it affects the infrastructure downstream on everything. And sidewalks in the village, I think they're doing a phenomenal job. I don't know if you remember Dawn Grosso. I was on a committee with her for a walkable community, and I started off at the village, and part of the reason I get so frustrated with government is almost everything that we did with that study got ignored. And, you know, I don't know if LaBella even knows about that, but I know they're doing a lot in terms of infrastructure and accessibility to the village, having sidewalks. Part of the failure of the market, as far as I'm concerned, the store that we had just outside the village, was the town didn't put sidewalks connecting the village. You know, Railside Market, I think it was called, but right on 96. So, you know, sidewalks are very important. If we're talking about biking and hiking and all that other stuff, and we want to revitalize the village, we've got to make it safe for people to get down here. And yes, a lot of people do want to walk or ride bikes. And so for all those reasons, I guess I just changed what I was going to say to reassert what she had to say. And I hope that becomes a high priority for everyone who might listen to this. Thank you.
Any other members of the public care to address the town board? Susie? No one on the YouTube. Okay. Moving next, under reports of town officials, within your packet, board members, we had the highway report, and included in that is a update from Ms. Casey, who went to, and members of her team went over to town of Farmington at Electric Car Corner in Farmington, and there's great information in there as well. In addition, you have our Parks and Rec report and IT report. Any questions on these three reports?
I just have a question on IT, on the, I can't say it, Lange Audio Visual Systems about ceiling microphones. What are the ceiling microphones for? I don't know if that's is that a Susie? Sorry, Susie.
They would be drop microphones for this room, so that there'd be two on each side. We could turn them on in case we needed to hear audience comments, because most of the time everybody has to go up to the podium for YouTube. So
they'll be able to get like a good range if people are sitting. or something?
two on each side. That's the max that we can fit with
Okay.
our
Right now,
current
we lose so much
audio
if
system.
they're not right at the podium, right? If they're not right there at the microphone, anybody watching online can't hear if somebody in the audience has something to
Yeah.
say, but if you have the drop downs, you're gonna be able to pick up the audience.
That's nice. Do you know when we're getting them installed?
No, they've ordered the equipment. I signed the quote and they ordered it, so I don't know yet.
Nice, thank you. That was it for me. My questions.
I just want to thank board members for their participation in the Memorial Day Parade, and certainly the ceremony. Had an opportunity because of the inclement weather to take this usually in front of Village Hall, and we had this event here at Town Hall. I want to thank Councilman Condon as well for having your grandchildren carry the banner for us. In addition, I had the pleasure of attending the Victor Farmington Rotary Club Law Enforcement Awards Luncheon. This was held on May 15th. This annual luncheon honors law enforcement officers who serve our community on National Police Memorial Day. Every year, the Rotary Club recognizes one officer from the New York State Police and an officer from the Ontario County Sheriff's Department. And the 16th of May, Victor Central Schools hosted their first school-to-career connection breakfast. This is a work-based learning program, and I know there was a lot of positive comments from individuals that attended that, and from businesses as well. So Appreciate those who were able to attend this event. And the town, we hosted our FLIMHIT, which is Finger Lakes Municipal Health Insurance Executive Meeting back on May 16th. This is a 2.5-hour meeting with presentations by the MVP Health, which is our healthcare partner. They provided a consortium health update to discuss trends in areas of concerns, things that maybe we can make some adjustments on. And on May the 17th, Town Board member Alexis Ogra, representing Assemblyman Gallahan's office, and I attended the Ontario County Sheriff's Office Annual Law Day ceremony. I know Malcolm Strong, a former town resident, was recognized, and his 2 sons were there as well. So, and that's all I have. Oh, excuse me, I do have one other thing. I was notified that the company that owns the Fraymark apartment buildings off of School Street, that both these buildings are going back on the market here in the near future. So you may recall we were going through a process. They thought they were sold probably about 1.5 years ago, and that they were looking to renew their pilot agreement with town, village, school district, and county. So we'll see. Stay tuned on that.
Supervisor Marin, I just wanted to add that breakfast luncheon, I reached out to Sue Utz, who's going to be running that program full-time, and started obviously in January, that I'd be a connection to the town for folks that maybe wanted to get involved in some, engineering and, code stuff, because they got some students that are actually interested in municipal government and poli-sci type of thing, and so I told her that I would act as a coordinator for us if kids want to get involved. I was really impressed with the list of businesses that are participating in that. It was very extensive, and a lot of companies, and I think even law offices and engineers are engaged, and it looks really promising.
No, I appreciate you bringing that up. Sue did an outstanding job, because at each one of the tables you sat, you had one student as well. And, there was a little exercises where we had to engage with the students, and very impressed with the level of talent up at that school district. So,
Supervisor, I would like to thank Brian Emelson for the flowers out front and around town. Nice job, Brian. It looks wonderful, and I can't say enough. I don't know. Whenever you ask Brian to do anything, he always says, yep, I'll do it. I'll get to it. I'll do it. Thank you, Brian, and your staff also for yesterday, or Memorial Day, for the parade and everything. So appreciate it.
other board members, any updates on any committees or liaison responsibilities?
Attended the village board meeting last week. They just approved a few stop signs over in Jacob's Landing, as well as the signage for their school zone, so that should hopefully be going up soon. They'll have to do a public hearing first and then vote on it, but I think it'll be nice to have that continuous school zone there on High Street. I cannot attend the next village board meeting on Monday, so I wasn't sure if anyone here could attend.
This coming Monday?
This coming Monday at 7. If you can, if you let me know, I'll let the mayor know that someone else will be there.
No, I like to surprise them.
You want to surprise them?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll go.
you can go. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We had a solar task force meeting last week. Our next one is going to be on June 10th in the afternoon. We attended a planning board meeting 2 weeks ago, have another one tomorrow. And then sending around a question, I know Councilman Condon got back to me on it, but hadn't heard from the rest of the board about the flags out front. The state runs through, the governor's office and through the Office of General Services, a program where, if flags go at half-mast, the governor order them. If, a police officer has fallen in the line of duty, just recently, it was a thruway worker who passed away, not too far from here, actually, on the 90, and she had ordered the flags to half-mast there. I know that there's other municipalities that do it. Actually, thought the town of Brighton, I sent around, they post theirs on their website. when the flag is going to be at half-mast. There's some regular scheduled ones. There are others that are, I won't say special, but are come up as, unfortunately, passings come up. And so wanted to see how the board felt about maybe adopting that and going, and adhering to that policy from the state. Because it's our flag, we have, we have full jurisdiction over it, so we can keep them up all the time or, do with what, we want. But I thought it would be nice to kind of go fitting with the state.
It is, I agree. I said it, I did agree with Alexis on it. The issue, not the issue. The school district is almost every day that flag is at half-staff. And it could be for somebody passed down on Long Island or something, so the
Yeah.
governor sends that out. So a lot of times people will say, why is the flag at half-staff? And we don't know. So I think if it is at half-staff, it does need to be on the website, why that day.
Yeah.
I think as long as somebody can say, check the website, it's there. But then again, somebody's got to do that. But I don't think it's a bad idea.
But, I mean, maybe I misunderstand, there is from the governor's office, there's a website,
Yeah, maybe we could
Yeah.
link to it and say our
so a
town.
link to that on our website, and
Yeah.
I think for the most part, I mean, my understanding was we kind of do follow that essentially, but I think that there maybe was a case where
Yeah.
it just didn't happen that day. But I always
We
thought,
do,
my understanding
right.
was that we follow through that website.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coordination between the clerk's office and Parks and Rec, correct?
Okay.
You two are speaking to each other? So the only missing upon the request is to have something put on the website, correct?
So do we get like a notification from OGS whenever the flag's at half-mast? Okay,
It's on the news
Yep.
as well, but
yep,
they usually get a feed in the clerk's office. And they might pique our attention to something. I think I did one.
Yeah.
oh, Susie?
Brian Emerson, Director of Parks and Recreation. Yeah, we get a feed about it. We don't typically put it on the website, but something that Susie can entertain. And then we have 4 that we do, the cemetery behind Village Hall, right here, and then Dry Road Park, Victor Municipal Park.
Okay,
So we wouldn't even have to.
Weed Square is done
identify.
by the Department of Public Works. Sometimes if we see that it's not done, we scoot over there.
okay.
So all we got to do is put the link on the web
Yeah.
page.
Okay.
I've never been questioned why. We internally, sometimes we question because it can be sometimes confusing if it's sometimes they say over state buildings.
Yeah.
And this is not typically a state
Yeah.
building, but
Correct.
typically it's for a fallen trooper or something like that, and we tend to do it anyway.
Yeah, yeah, that's when I noticed it, was when the Thruway worker passed away, now, I think it's like 2 weeks ago, the flag was at half-mast from whenever she ordered it to internment, and it, like you said, like, it took a while, so I drove past and I was like, oh, it's not down, and then I think it was I got lunch at McDonald's, and I noticed that they had theirs at half-mast. I was like, oh, I wonder if we can do that, and that's when I sent the email, so,
Great.
yeah. Yeah, I can send the link over, and if we could just like put it on our website, we follow the state, protocol. Here's what it is. Then if we get questions, they know where to go. Cool,
Thanks for bringing it up.
thank you.
Good comments, everyone.
And then I just have one last question. I know Supervisor, you brought up like 2 meetings ago about the newsletter. And I had some comments on it, but I wasn't sure how you wanted to address it all together or just go over it one-on-one, what we wanted to do about, like our thoughts on going forward with the newsletter.
I'm sorry, I'm taking notes over here.
Oh.
From the. Yeah, so feedback through my email address be
Okay,
fine.
yeah.
And, copy all the board members and just, don't get into a dialogue with each other, so.
Oh, I'll send it over.
Any, Alexis, you good?
I'm good.
Okay, any other board members? Okay, moving to the business section. Resolution number 1, formally establishing a municipal recycling program.
Moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Supervisor Mary, can we block 2, 3, and 4 since they're all employment opportunities through Parks and Rec?
Just to interrupt you there, I think Casey has something to say. We're doing good work. I thought it'd be nice to hear Casey.
Okay, if I have a little cold, so I'm going to talk a little softer, because then I get coughing if I'm loud. Can you hear me? Okay. Casey Page, Waste Diversion Coordinator. So I just wanted to just go through some stuff we've been working on with Climate Smart Community. So currently, we're really focusing on electric vehicles, the charging stations. So in your packet, you noticed we went to the Electric Car Corner in Farmington, and I learned a lot about the electric vehicles. They gave us a great overview of the hybrid vehicle, the electric vehicles, the charging stations. There's like level 1 through 3. Showed us vehicles they thought would be a good match for the town. We got to look at the Mach 3, the Ford F-150 Lightning. So I thought that was a pretty informative session. Then Keith and I went to Albany, and we went to the New York State Electric Vehicle Fleet event. Governor Hochul is mandating to transition all state light-duty fleet vehicles to electric by 2035. So they gave presentations on charging, the present charging stations to the future. I think they're going to go transition more to the fast charging options, creating more infrastructure to encourage electric vehicles across New York State so that you can be in any portion of New York State, North Country, and find a charging station. There was a presentation on fleet conversion and tracking. OGS did a presentation on how to go on their website for purchasing the vehicles. There was a presentation from the New York City DOT Commissioner. They've transitioned 4,000 vehicles in their fleet to hybrid electric or alternative fossil fuels. Mark and I were talking about that. So it's like a biodiesel comprised of like corn and soybean oil, but there's a percentage of that in their diesel, I guess. So we got to see multiple vehicles and charging displays through that venue. I also contacted Rob Richardson last week from the clean energy community, and Keith, Rich, hopefully Mayor Haddon, and I are going to meet with a value stack representatives. So they're going to kind of take a look at the town facility and maybe Parks facility, and we'll talk about possible charging stations. I think for the town, a level 2 would probably be a good option if we decide to do anything like that. We've also been, I've been working with Rachel, trying to get together with her like once a month and go through that huge task list. So there's 1 through 10 items of actions. So the first actions, build a climate smart community. We did that. We have our task force. We have a coordinator. So that is completed. There is a national organization. I'm not sure that I'm going to address that at this point. The PE2 is inventory emissions goals and plan for climate action. That's not something we're really able to complete right now because we need to do a lot of inventory to do some of these things. So the next action item is decrease energy usage. So in order to establish that, I need to get inventories of every building, indoor lighting, outdoor lighting, street lights, all of our appliances, our heating and cooling systems, our water fixtures, toilets, sinks. So once you get that in order, then you progress to say, oh, we replace the court lighting with LEDs. So it shows progression. That's what I need to submit. So I need to start here in order to show the progression to get any kind of credit for that kind of stuff. So that's a lot, and I'll probably look to like departments to help out with that. Energy code enforcement training, that was in that decrease energy. We did do that. Shifting to clean renewable energy for building, like if we were building a new building, that was something we were looking at with a highway. We're not at that stage right now. Using climate smart materials management, we do a great job with that. So we already have recycle bins, the resolution tonight. We do food scrap recycling. We use during public events, we use recycle bins. I've sent some links to Rachel to put in our portal to show where we advertise stuff like that on the website for like the county events. So that gets us some points too. So a lot of stuff I already submitted through our portal. Implement climate smart land use. That's like a comprehensive plan. We need to kind of update that to have some more sustainable elements in it. So that action item we need to work on. That also includes alternate fuel infrastructure, so charging stations would be something in there. PE7 is enhanced community resilience to climate change. Went through this whole action item with Rachel. Not a lot on it that we can do at this point. I think we're redoing the Boughton Hill Dam. That's one thing that could be something that would be in that action item, but I don't think we've started that yet. But once we do that, you could take before and after photos. Support green innovation economy. So the farmers market, buy local, our wine walks, those are all things I send through the portal, and we can get credit for those. And then PE9 is inform and inspire the public, so we want to host workshops, so I'm thinking of hosting next spring a compost workshop. Drew, for the Climate Board event, I'm going to try to get some EV vendors to participate in that. So that would be, count for that. And the last one is engage in evolving process of climate action. And a lot of that was not applicable, Rachel said, to our community. And that's it. Any
Thank you.
questions? There you go.
You're busy, thank you.
Yeah.
Feel better? Now I'll ask if we can block 2, 3,
Okay,
4.
is there any objection to blocking resolutions 2, 3, and 4? They are all very similar, Parks and Rec agreements.
No objection.
Hearing no objections, then we'll entertain a motion,
Moved.
Second?
and we have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, 2, 3, and 4 have been passed. Number 5 is request for certificate of liability insurance waiver.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And number 6, this is the Town of Victor notice of permissive referendum regarding the Town of Victor Consolidated Sewer District for the proposed 805 Wangham Road extension.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It's passed. Moving to public comments. Do we have any public comments?
Didn't think I was going to be commenting, but after I was listening to her, I just wanted to comment on some things that she said. I own Propel Technology, which is a manufacturer's representative, and I work with all electrical and mechanical engineering companies. So a lot of my customers, I have thousands of customers in upstate New York who design products in order to use for whatever, military, medical, industrial, commercial, consumer, right? So I have a little bit of expertise. I've been doing this 20-plus years. I don't even know how long, but so I just want to give you my opinion. Listening to sort of what she was talking about, I do get to see the trends because I work with the companies that make the batteries for your lawnmowers, for your leaf blowers. I do work with the companies that do the 5G towers and the power amplifiers. I do work with the military RF radios. I get to see through the thousands of companies that I work with in upstate New York, I get to see what's going on and the trends and what they're doing and how some things are going up and some things are going down. So I would just say to you that, you know, in New York City and Washington, D.C. and California, those cities can afford to make a mistake. Victor, you're low, you know, you're middle, small, right? You can't afford to make a mistake. So what I would just advise you is I'm already seeing the battery thing coming down. So one of my largest customers is Stanley Black & Decker, and some stuff that was skyrocketing, like faster than we could possibly keep up with, has gone to a real drip. I've seen the 5G towers, the amplifiers, go to a standstill. I've seen, so when you make those batteries, when you turn that car into an electric car, you are now incorporating a whole lot more electronics. So when you're working with gas, it's more of a mechanical type of system. It's more of a burn system, right? You do need electronics, but that's more for your accessory items and those sort of things. But when you move to an EV, you're now, and I'm all for EV, like I said, I want to EV my bike on down here, but when you move to an EV car, we're talking bigger problems. And now everything is electronic. None of that is recyclable, so you know. Like, that's why China's buried in it. So bigger thing, bigger problems, just like the windmills down in Cohocton and Avoca, they would show you that not only are they've got a graveyard of them because you can't recycle them, they're laying there killing their whole town. But what also is interesting is I know a lot of people there, and the farms that didn't even put them on, they signed off, and now they can't sell their property because no one wants a farm that has given up their air rights, that has allowed a farm a mile away to have those going, which is hurting their crops, their cows, their goats. So therefore, they won't be able to sell their own farm because when they came in and did the song and dance, the high money, the people who are going to come in, they're going to sell you, they're going to offer you tons of cash in the Climate Act, they're going to give you a lot of money back, but you're going to be left hanging, holding the bag when all of it breaks. So the solar farms, go look at California, let them lead the way. They already have abandoned solar farms. Go look at the EV industry, already starting to see, Elon Musk might have got that huge package about 10 years ago, now he might not get it. So I'm just warning you, as someone who sees the trends, because I'm putting the wire on it, I'm putting the connector on it, I'm doing the printed circuit board assembly, I'm doing all of that. I would warn you that if you jump all in this, you might be also the one that gets blamed when it's graveyarding. And now we don't know how to get rid of it because it's going to cost more money to get rid of it than they offered you to do it. So it's just my 2 cents on my business and what I just heard. So just giving you a little friendly advice there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public care to address the town board? I need a motion to go in executive session under rule number 3, the proposed acquisition of real property when publicity might affect the value.
So moved.
Second.
And we need town board members, Finance Director Rich O'Donnell, Highway Superintendent Mark Gears, and Attorney Frank Pavia. All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Get all this.
We're staying here.